Person human values to understanding harmony. So in this first we see what is value education. Looking at the list of aspiration for a fulfilling life such as earning lot of money, gaining power, attaining recognition, then doing the world, having a loving family, ensuring harmonious relationship and between others, maintaining a healthy body, pollution-free environment, society to be free of crimes, nature to have abundance for all and peace everywhere. In fact, we want the life to be full of joy every moment. When we try to fulfill our relationship with other human being or any entity in the rest of nature, that defines my participation with the larger order. This participation constitutes the domain of human values. So the value of an entity is its participation in the larger order of which it is a part. For example, value of a pen is that it can write. Value of an eye is that it can use for seeing. Value of a vegetable plant is that it provides nutrition to animals and humans. So what is value? Any human activity, thought, or idea, feeling, sentiment, or emotion which could promote self-development of the individual in all its dimensions that constitute value. So the question here is, what is the participation of human being in the bigger order? For example, if your participation in the process of education is to understand what is being taught, your value is to make effort to understand. The value of a human being is its natural or expected participation in the larger order at the level of individual, family, society, nature, and existence. You feel happy in the process of fulfilling your participation in the larger order. If you understand what has been taught, you feel happy. The teacher also feels happy when you participate in understanding what is being taught. For human being, the bigger order includes like other human being, water, plant, society, air, animals, and birds, etc. That is the entire nature and existence. Hence, to understand human values, we need to study the human reality along with all that is there in the entire existence, nature, which constitute the larger order. The role of human being is to understand and fulfill its relationship with each and every unit in the existence. To understand human values, there is a need for value education. So here comes value education. What is value education? It means inculcating in the children a sense of humanism, a deep concern for well-being of others and the nation. We need to explore and understand things as they are so that we are able to fulfill our participation with them. Okay. So value education, the part of education that deals with the understanding of one's participation in the larger order, thus ensuring it in living, is called value education. Ultimately, the education should be based on value, that is value-based education. If not value-based, then we do not know how to fulfill the life, that is life of fulfillment. It can provide you skill to meet out the physical facility by making money, but the basic desire will remain untouched. Therefore, we first focus on making money rather than fulfilling our life. So these deficiency need to be rectified by providing wholesome education and conducive to a fulfilling life. So next comes, what are the needs for value education? Correct identification of our aspiration. The subject which enable us to understand what is valuable for human happiness is called value education. Thus, value education enables us to understand our needs and visualize our goals correctly and also indicate the direction for their fulfillment. It also helps to remove our confusions, contradictions, and bring harmony at all levels. The second one is understanding universal human values to fulfill our aspiration in continuity. Values from the basis for all our thoughts, behavior, and actions. Once we know what is valuable to us, these value becomes the basis, the anchor for our actions. We also need to understand the universality of various human values because only then we have to definite and common program for value education. Then only we can assured of a happy and harmonious human society. Then third point is complementarity of values and skills. Values from the basis to fulfill our aspiration, both values and skills are necessary. When we identify and set the right goals and produced in the right direction, this is known as value domain. The domain of wisdom, and when we learn and practice to actualize these goals to develop the techniques to make this happen in the real life in various dimensions of human endeavor that is struggling. This is known as domain of skills. Hence, there is an essential complementarity between values and skills for the success of any human endeavor. For example, I want to lead a healthy life. Only wishing for good health will not help me keep up my body fit and healthy. And without having understood the meaning of health, I will not be able to choose things correctly to keep my body fit and healthy. Fourth point is evaluation of our beliefs. Each one of us believes in certain things and we base our values on these beliefs, be they false or true, which may not be true in reality. These beliefs comes to us from what we read, we see, we hear, what our parents tells us, our friends talk about, what the magazines talk of, what we see from TV. Value education helps us to evaluate our belief and assumed values. Next is technology and human values. The present education system has become largely skill-based. The prime emphasis is on science and technology. However, science and technology can only help to provide the means to achieve what is considered valuable. It is not within the scope of science and technology to provide the competence of deciding what really is valuable. Value education is crucial missing link in the present education system. Because of this deficiency, most of our efforts may prove to be counterproductive and serious crises at industrial, societal, environmental level are manifesting. And the next one is basic guidelines for value education. So here we have some points like universal, rational, natural, and verifiable, all encompassing and leading to harmony. So what is universal? It needs to be applicable to all the human beings, irrespective of caste, credit, nationalities, religion, etc., for all times and regions. What is rational? It has to appeal to human reasoning. It has to be amendable to reasoning and not based on diagonals or blind belief. Natural and verifiable. It has to be naturally acceptable to the human being who goes throughout the course, and when we live on the basis of such values, it leads to our happiness. It needs to be experientially verifiable and not based on dogmas or belief or assumption. Okay? Then all encompassing. Value education is aimed at transforming our consciousness and living. Hence, it needs to cover all the dimensions like thought, behavior, work, and realization. Levels like all individual, family, society, nature, and existence of human life and profession. Leading to harmony. The value education ultimately is targeted to promote harmony within the individual, among the human beings, and with nature. Next point is development of holistic perspective. The outcome of value education is a holistic perspective with the clarity about the human being, the one who understands about the nature, existence of which we are an integral part, as well as our participation in the nature. This participation is our role, it is our purpose, it is our right, it is our responsibility, and it is our value. In terms of day-to-day living, we play a role like individual, family, society, nature, existence role. We feel happy when we fulfill our participation at any level. We are interconnected and interrelated in this existence. In the light of holistic perspective, we can understand the nature or the existence. The next point is clarity of program to live with holistic perspective. Value education provides us the vision which help us to get answers to all these questions like what thoughts are naturally acceptable to me, with which I would like to continue. What goodwill keep my body healthy, and which clothes will fulfill the need of body better. What behavior with my friends will sustain our relationship? How I can be help to others in my family? How I can participate in the college or neighborhood or the society at large? What my roles can be in maintaining the harmony of the environment, such as trees and water? We keep struggling with confusion about all these aspects. Hence, value education is the one way which clarifies our doubts and provides answers to all those questions. It is necessary for our state of happiness. Solution of existing problem is the next requirement of value education. The problem, including wrong belief, or mainly because we do not have understanding and we are not making enough effort for it. So once we have a holistic perspective and the clarity of the program to live by it, we are able to realize that most of the existing problems are actually symptoms and consequences of wrong beliefs. With right understanding of things, we will be able to root them out, not only at the personal level, but also at the family level, in our workplace, at societal level, in our interaction with the rest of nature, etc. Last point is development of ethical competence. Ethics is the expression of definite human conduct in one's behavior, work, or participation in larger order. The problem of unethical conduct in various professions, which is becoming a grave menace almost everywhere, can also be tackled effective by focusing attention on the development of ethical competence through human value education. So value education will develop ethical competence among human beings, which will reflect in all their pursuits. So that's all about the need of value education. What can be the scope of and content of value education? So when we see scope of value education, it should include all dimensions of thought, behavior, work, and realization. It should also include at the four levels, as we previously said, individual, family, society, nature. So these are just four. Content of value education. First, we have to understand myself, ourselves. What is our aspiration? What is our happiness? Okay. So understanding all this human being, human aspiration, human happiness is content of value education. Then understand the goal of human life comprehensively. Then to understand the other entities in nature, how they are interconnected and coexistence and role of human being in nature. Then to understand the harmony at the four levels of human. So these are the scope and content of value. Then what is process of value education? Actually, value education begins with self-exploration and looking inside yourself. So here this chart explains self-exploration means what am I versus what I really want to be. Okay. So value education begins only in the self-exploration. Human values can be understood by an appropriate process of self-discovery because these are very potential in each and every human being. There is already a natural acceptance for values in human being. It is only that we have to discover them and become aware of them. So in every human being, there is a natural acceptance. Only the thing we have to discover and should aware of them. Okay. So value education is not a set of do's and don'ts. It is a rather a process of self-exploration and self-investigation. So what is self-exploration? It is process of finding out what is valuable to me by investigating within myself. So exploration, that is observing outside. Self-exploration, that is observing inside. So what is the purpose of self-exploration? So it is a process of dialogue between what you are and what you really want to be. It is a process of self-evolution through self-investigation, means inheriting our quality and power. It is a process of knowing oneself and through that knowing the entire existence. It is a process of recognizing one's relationship with every unit in existence and fulfilling it. It is a process of knowing human conduct, human character, and living accordingly. It is a process of being in harmony with oneself and in harmony with entire existence. It is also a process of identifying our innateness and moving towards self-organization and self-expression. So the following points should be kept in mind at the time of self-exploration. Whatever is stated is a proposal. Don't start by assuming it to be true or false. Verify it on your own right. Don't just accept or reject it on the basis of any scripture, instrument, or on basis of others. So when you find the answer, two things is very, very important. One is aspiration, and next is process to fulfill my aspiration. So in self-exploration, two steps are mainly involved. One is verify the proposal on the basis of your natural acceptance. So what is the first one? Verify the proposal on the basis of your natural acceptance. Second one is live according to the proposal to validate it experientially. So here the second step is live according to the proposal. So two steps are mainly important in self-exploration. That is, first you have to verify the proposal on the basis of your natural acceptance and then live according to the proposal to validate it experientially. So that's all about self-exploration process.